Hey guys, welcome back to Old World Home and welcome to my super messy kitchen. I'm not gonna lie, this is how my kitchen looks pretty often, but that's because we use it. I have been recipe testing, we've been having meals in here, but it's the afternoon, it's time to tidy it up. But before I even get started on that, I want to make a batch of cookies that I'm going to bring to family on Thanksgiving, and I wanna prep that, get it in the oven, and while they're baking, I'll go ahead and tackle this big mess, and I'll even decorate it for Christmas. So come along with me and we'll do it together. So normally before I would start cooking or baking, I would prefer to have my counters clean, the sink clear, and just start with like a clean base, but I'm not gonna do that today because I wanna get these cookies in the oven and then I'll be able to clean while they're baking. So I have to refill my flour container, but I like to wash it before I refill. But the recipe I'm going to make are these best ginger snaps ever. My sister made these like a month ago, and she said that they were amazing. So I'm gonna try to make them. I made a similar like ginger molasses cookie last year, so I'm gonna see how these compare. It's a very similar recipe, pretty simple ingredients. We're gonna go ahead and put that together. For this recipe, you will need 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1/4 cup molasses, which came out so nicely after the oil, and 1 egg, and those all get beat together with your mixer or even by hand. Then mix together the dry ingredients, which are 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon ginger, 1/2 teaspoon cloves, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Then you're going to fold in 1/3 of the dry mixture by hand until it's all incorporated. Working with a tablespoon at a time, roll the dough into a ball and then coat it in a little bowl of white sugar before placing on your baking sheet. These bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 12 minutes. While that first batch was in the oven baking, I started to clean up the sink area, which first I had to put away all of the clean dishes that were dry, and then I just started loading up the dishwasher. First batch is done and looking fantastic, so in goes batch number 2. All right, first batch is out. These look perfect. These look like store-bought, and they were so easy. So I have another batch in. I'll probably get another, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5. I made them kind of big. I probably should have made them a little bit smaller, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this area. I did empty the sink and I hand washed a bunch of things, so it's time to get cleaning. Alright, so this side of the kitchen is cleaned up. I just have a couple things left out. Again, I'm gonna prep for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna make stuffed mushrooms, and then this is just cranberry sauce. We have 3 different cranberry sauces, but my cookies are done. I got 2.5 dozen out of that recipe. I'm happy with that. They look perfect. I'm very pleased with that. I haven't tried them yet, but they look really good. So pan is cleaned up from breakfast, and I got all this cleaned up. Sink is empty. Now I need to move on to this side of the kitchen, clean off the island, and deal with all of this mess over here. All right, now that the kitchen is clean, counters wiped down, floors cleaned, island is clear, I'm going to do just a little bit of Christmas decorating. I did start already, so I have my reindeer garland that I showed you how to make. They're made of cinnamon and applesauce. I will link that video if you haven't seen it yet, but I can see that one of my pine branches has fallen down, so I'm gonna put that back up. I pulled up this candle from our basement. I bought it last year, and it's still good. I think I only burned maybe half of it. That was a Home Goods find last Christmas. It smells really nice. It's pretty mild, so it's not like overpowering in the kitchen. And the reason I didn't burn it as much is because I love making simmer pots in the wintertime and Christmas time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one of those together and get that simmering on the stove, and it's gonna smell amazing. All right, so just in a regular pot of water, we're gonna put that on like medium heat, and then just throw in any citrus that you have. I have this lemon that I cut a couple days ago, so it's kind of a little bit dried up, so I'm gonna throw that in. You can of course use any fresh citrus that you have, but it's also really easy to use just the peels of some citrus that you have, like lemon, orange, grapefruit. You could even use apples. That does tend to get a little bit mushier. Yes, I'm just gonna cut right here in my hand. It gets a little mushy, so it really only lasts for about a day. But when you use the peels, I can usually actually, reheat this over about 2 days. So this is an orange that I have. I am just gonna take the peels off so that we can eat the fruit. And then to that, I'm gonna add in some cranberries. They are, again, in season now and really inexpensive. I think this bag was 89 cents at Aldi, so I'm gonna use some in here and save the rest for Thanksgiving. And then I also have some bay leaves. Honestly, you can pretty much put anything in here that you like, that you think smells kind of seasonal. And then I have this gigantic container of nutmeg, so I'm just gonna throw the whole nutmeg in there. You could just grate some in. I don't know, I'm gonna throw in a bunch because I've had this forever, so just gonna use them up. And then some cinnamon, definitely go, heavy on the cinnamon. You wanna really smell it. You could also use cinnamon sticks if that's what you have. And I have some ground up clove. They were whole, but I ground them for my cookies, so that really makes a big difference. That makes it very fragrant and delicious. We're just gonna kind of mix that all together, let it simmer. Once it starts to kind of, start to bubble a little bit, then you can just put it on really low and just let it simmer, and again, makes your house smell fantastic. You could even make these little simmer pot mixes in like a mason jar or even just like a cellophane plastic bag. A friend of ours actually did that a couple years ago. We went to a cookie exchange and she brought that along with her cookies. It had a little clementine in it, a little lemon, had a sprig of rosemary, which is another thing you can put in, or pine, and a candy cane, and maybe, some cinnamon sticks. And it was just so thoughtful that she included that, and then you just, you know, whoever you give it to just dumps it into a pot of water and their house smells amazing. So that's a really thoughtful little simple gift to give to a teacher, or, you know, someone if you need just like a little filler gift. It's really, really cute. To add a gorgeous pop of red to our Christmas kitchen, I'm replacing our bay leaf topiaries with these red poinsettias that I picked up for just a couple dollars each. The planters that I put them in were thrift store finds from a couple years ago. A little bit of seeded pine from our backyard tucked here and there is a lovely free way to dress up the kitchen. Even a bowl of oranges in a gorgeous thrift store silver bowl look simply beautiful, surrounded by more seeded pine, and just that combination of that vibrant orange and deep green. It's my favorite this time of year. Now let's take a second to look back at what this kitchen looked like just a couple hours earlier and how it looks now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing this Christmas clean, decorate, and bake with me. I hope you are having a wonderful start to your holiday season. If you are new here, be sure to stick around and subscribe, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.